Welcome to Rogers Center. It's Tuesday night. That always means tonight's another BlackBerry Tweeting Tuesday. Stay up to date with all the latest Blue Jays news and information by following the club on Twitter. Submit your questions during tonight's game to @BlueJays, and your question could be selected as our Twitter fan question of the night. Look, Showalter's Orioles have been in a little bit of a tailspin of late. They got off to a great start. They've slipped a little bit, 29-20. Robert Andino is the leadoff hitter tonight. J.J. Hardy, Nick Markakis, Adam Jones, the cleanup hitter. Chris Davis is the DH. He was at first base last night. This season, he has really been a pain in the side of the Blue Jays. 348, 3 home runs, and 5 RBI. Wilson Betterman starts in left field, and Steve Pallison is the third baseman. They're set to take on Ricky Romero. Andino ready. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. Robert Andino hit in the 9th spot in the order last night. He went 1 for 3 with a walk. He is filled in admirably for Brian Roberts, who's on the disabled list. Bounce to third. Big hop for Laurie. 1 down.
Ricky Romero on the mound for his 11th start of the season as they whip the ball around the infield. Romero, in his last start, he walked a career high 7 batters in 6 innings against Tampa Bay. 5-1 with a 386 earned run average. Right-handers hitting just 192 against Ricky. In that game against Tampa, 6 innings. He only gave up 2 hits, a couple of doubles, 1 to Upton and 1 to Joyce, but it was the walks that really did him in.
J.J. Hardy. There's a good fastball strike. Hardy 2 for 15 in his career against Ricky Romero. He's got some pop. 10 home runs so far this season. Romero a little bit more aggressive with his fastball than we've seen, and that's been a problem. He's a little bit tentative with that fastball, and he's always had a good fastball with late life. I think he just got a little bit too fine trying to make the perfect pitch.
Yeah, and just trying to get all of his other pitches over the plate. Boy, the one thing that I noticed right away here in the first inning, the arm looks a little bit looser for Romero, meaning that he's a little bit smoother as he's delivering it towards the plate. It doesn't look so muscled up or trying to hump the ball in there as hard as he can. He looks nice and loose.
On the ground. Escobar back at shortstop. Makes a good play. 2 down. You know, Escobar had some problems with a groin injury, but he's back in the lineup tonight.
Scouting report for Ricky Romero is brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. And there's the fastball usage that you were just talking about, Buck. 2011, 72% of the time, 66% of the time. This year, in his last start, just 56% of the time he used his fastball. When he does, batters are hitting just 228 against Romero. So he uses that, and then I think it'll open up everything else for him.
Right fielder Nick Markakis. Markakis went 0 for 4 in last night's game. There's a good fastball. Some ball on the strike. The Orioles are built around a good, solid foundation. Markakis and Jones in right and center, respectively. Then the catcher, Matt Wieters, and J.J. Hardy at shortstop. It's a good core. And another good fastball.
Built around power also. 6 different players with 7 or more home runs. Only the Orioles and Yankees can say that in the American League. So they are never out of a ball game with that type of power.
Here's the 1-2 from Romero. Ricky's always pitched well against the Orioles. A 6-3 career record over 12 starts. Whip just over 1. Good pitch, just missed the outside corner. It's a full count.
Looked like that changeup that Romero can throw, and it can go any direction. It can go down, it can cut across the plate, it can go in towards the left-handers. He's got such movement on that changeup.
Coming right back with it. Markakis hangs in and gets a piece of it. Nick Markakis, Adam Jones, J.J. Hardy, and Matt Wieters are all signed for the long term. Orioles made sure they wrapped up their core. Pop on the left side and drifting into the seats.
They all have a chance also to be all-stars this year. They are playing great baseball. Markakis, Wieters, Jones, and Hardy. There's an all-star for sure right there. This guy, Hardy's only got 2 errors all season long.
Yeah.
Playing great shortstop.
Another 3-2 pitch. Great call. Markakis wasn't quite sure. Romero had a good first inning. A 1-2-3 first with a strikeout. Ricky Romero off to a good start tonight against the O's. Twelve hits and 2 home runs. Don Wakamatsu and manager John Farrell. Take a look at the Blue Jays lineup. Kelly Johnson, Yunel Escobar, as we mentioned, back in the 2 spot. Bautista third. Edwin Encarnacion in his last 5 games has got it going again. 3 home runs, 6 RBIs. He hit his 16th last night in the 3rd inning, a 2-run shot off Tommy Hunter. Colby Rasmus drops from 2 to 5. He is hitting .234 for the season. Aaron Sevilla-Laurie, David Cooper continues to play at first, and Rajay Davis is starting in left field for the 12th time this year.
Jake Arrieta on the mound for the Orioles tonight has been inconsistent this season. 2-5 with a .487 earned run average to go along with 3 no decisions. One thing that could help him, though, with his inconsistency is Orioles need to score more runs. They have scored 1 or fewer runs in 5 of his 10 starts this year, and only 14 runs to work with in 8 starts combined.
Puts a lot of pressure on your pitcher when you don't expect to have many runs scored for you. Kelly Johnson did a job last night, top of the order. Went 3 for 4, hit a couple of doubles and a home run. Johnson with 3 hits and 3 RBIs in the leadoff spot. First Blue Jay to do that since 2007. Vernon Wells did that in June of 2007, and Johnson just back in the lineup after getting an injection last Friday down in Arlington. Hobbled around the bases 3 times.
he looked 5 score from second base in the 1st inning on a single.
Big bouncing ball to second, and Dino has it.
Jake Arrieta has a very good arm. The scouting report on the young right-hander is fastball 31% of the time. You can see against Kelly Johnson how he used that good, hard, sinking fastball. Sinker, slider, curve, change, and he'll cut it every now and then. I think his curveball is his best pitch. Throws it 15% of the time, but hitters are hitting under 200 against Arrieta. When he's throwing it for strikes to go along with that good fastball, he can be tough.
5th round draft pick of the Orioles in 2007. Yunel Escobar back in the lineup. Goes after the first pitch. Escobar probably got healthy once he looked at the pitching matchup. 6 for 12 against Arrieta with a home run. He is the only Blue Jay in this lineup that has hit well against Arrieta.
I couldn't believe the numbers when you were telling me those before the ball game, that there's one guy in the lineup has had success.
That sinking fastball on the inside corner.
Not a lot of at-bats that the Blue Jays have had against Arrieta.
In fact, there's just 4 other players in this lineup that have faced him. Bautista, Encarnacion, Aaron Sevilla, and Rajay Davis have combined to go 1 for 26 against Arrieta. That's why he's got a 3-1 record against the Jays.
And a very good ERA at 3.8.
2 balls and 2 strikes to the Blue Jays shortstop. Jake Arrieta in his 3rd season with the Orioles. Made 22 starts a year ago, went 10-8. Good moving fastball on the outside corner, came back and caught the outside corner about knee high.
Watch the movement on this fastball from Arrieta. It's outside and then it comes back. Got a lot late against Escobar. I think he thinks that this one is below the knees, but if he was paying attention to the final out in the 1st inning, that's plenty high enough. Plenty of the plate. Look at that.
That was higher than the strike called on Nick Markakis. Jose Bautista looks at a breaking ball strike. Bautista was 0 for 4 in last night's game. That hit his right arm loose early.
Yeah. Be ready to swing it, boys.
That's a good thing.
Puts you in that mood where you're constantly thinking about being aggressive at the plate when you know the umpire's got a big strike zone like this. And I think when you are aggressive at the plate, especially early in the count, you're in swing mode, and that's when big offensive games happen.
Two and two. Another good curveball, and Arrieta has a good start, just like Ricky Romero. We've played 1 here at Rogers Center. It's scoreless. Arrieta's got his curveball working early. By Transition Adaptive Lenses, we're going to take a close-up look at Adam Jones, the Orioles center fielder. Jones is 26 years old. He was born in San Diego. There's his Twitter handle. And Adam Jones has won a Gold Glove. He's been an All-Star, and he just signed a lucrative contract. And being from San Diego, he had a real positive impact given to him by Mark McLemore, the former big league ball player.
Went to the same high school. He was a first-round draft pick of the Seattle Mariners back in 2003.
Sounded like it hit off the end of the bat, but it's carrying out of the ballpark. Jones extends his hit streak in his first at bat on the first pitch in opposite field, a home run number 15 for Adam Jones. Boy, that had funny sound. It sounded like it may have broken the bat.
Yeah, funny sound. It looked like it was off the end of the bat. It looked like it was going to be a fly ball to right field. We told you, though, when you are aggressive early in the count, it makes for a good offensive night, and that ball just kept carrying to right field for Jones. And out of the ballpark, 1-0.
That extends Adam Jones' hit streak to 20 games. That's the first 20-game hit streak since 2005 for the Orioles, when Brian Roberts had a hit streak in May, from May 9th to May 31st.
It took him his last at bat last night to keep the streak going. Doesn't take him very long tonight.
The Orioles are 13-1 when Adam Jones hits a home run. That's the kind of impact his home runs have had for his ball club this year. Matt Wieters, the catcher's in a hole, 1-2. And that hit him on the arm.
Doubly disappointed after you've got 2 strikes on a batter. You're going to try and come inside, hopefully move him off the plate or get him to swing at it, and you end up hitting him. They wanted to go in there, and it just barely nicked Matt Wieters. Romero very upset with himself. Looked like maybe a cut fastball that got away from him.
Tried to cut it inside, and you can see it just clipped him. Looked like it clipped him on the jersey. First pitch strike to Mark Reynolds. Reynolds in his second game. He was disabled on May 12th. An oblique strain. Came back last night, was his first game. Off speed pitch. It's a ball in the strike.
Out to the ballpark about 1 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, and was right back into the lineup and had a double off the center field wall. In fact, he was on base 3 times in last night's game.
Another good fastball catches the inside corner. 1-2. Little dribbler towards shortstop. They go to first for the out. Ball wasn't hit hard enough to get to. Escobar takes the sure out at first. Wieters moves to second on the ground out. Chris Davis is the DH tonight. Started at first in last night's game. Having a good season. 300 average. He's had 8 home runs.
Closing up some of those holes that he had earlier in his career. He's always a big strikeout guy. Now the average a little bit better, going the other way a little bit better this year. When he first came up, it was yank everything, pull everything. This year, much better, shooting the ball into the gaps in left center and right center.
He's worn out the Blue Jays this year. For 7 games, he's hit .340. Another thing he's done very well this year is hit against left-handers. He got a .263 average against lefty pitching.
That's respectable.
Yeah, you hit .260 against lefties and he'll hope to wear out the right-handers. That's why his average is over 300. He's hit .319 against right-handed pitching. He's in a hole 0-2. Bounced wide of first. John Farrell talked about Ricky Romero. He's been asked questions about Ricky Romero for the last 4 starts. What's wrong with Ricky? How do they get him turned around? He said, I think Ricky's just thinking too much. Giving the hitters too much credit, trying to be too fine. He'll just get his swagger back. 0-2. Bounced in from the plate, blocked by Aaron Sevian. You buy into that? You think an awful lot of it is confidence?
Certainly. Even at the big league level, guys lose confidence and they try too hard. They lose confidence in themselves. And you go, gosh, this isn't working, so I've got to try this. And you can just see it in Ricky. Fastball, he tries to power by him and just doesn't have that good release point.
Pretty good pitch right there. The appeal down to Paul Nart said no swing. And it looked like it was borderline in two situations, whether he swung or might have been on the plate. Romero doesn't get the call.
Here's the check swing. That's
a swing.
That's far enough for me. We have seen it called a lot worse than that.
So now it's a 2-2 count, and Romero wants to talk to J.P. Arencibia. One thing about Ricky that has continued to improve is his opponent's batting average from his first year. It's gotten better and better each year.
Yeah, every year he shaved off 42 points from 09 to 10, then down to 216, and they're only hitting 208 against Romero this year. It's the base runners and the hit batters, those extra base runners on Romero this year that has hurt him.
There's a breaking ball for a strike. He locked up Chris Davis. Couldn't pull the trigger. Second strikeout for Romero.
Good curveball right here. Watch the sharp bender. That's the one he used at his last start in Tampa. Against Tampa, started throwing more curveballs. He did have the 7 walks, but he had 7 strikeouts in his 6 innings.
Wilson Bettamy, switch hitter, batting right-handed. One thing Ricky has done too in this game is picked up the tempo a little bit. Even after giving up the leadoff home run to Jones, he is working quickly.
Another problem that he was running into, walking around the mound a lot, rubbing up the baseball, looking around. Tempo is so important. Work quickly, stay within yourself. So far, so good.
Brandon Morrow will go tomorrow, and of course he had a short start his last time out. Urging on his mate, Ricky Romero. 0-2. Right field, Bautista backs up a couple of steps right there to make the play. Orioles get one and strand one. They take a 1-0 lead. Red hot Edwin Encarnacion, his 16th home run last night. Bobby Rasmus is on fire, and J.P. Arencibia with 9 homers. Homer last night. He'll lead things off here in the second, and exactly 1 year ago today, Encarnacion against John Banks of the White Sox hit his first home run of the season.
Hard to believe, isn't it? Encarnacion, and he was so happy he had some kisses for that bat.
That was Ricky Romero's bat. Blue Jays were getting close to interleague play, and he had been so desperate he said, "Ricky, let me use your bat." He would go on to hit 2 home runs with Romero's bat, but that was his first. What a turnaround for Encarnacion. Changeup misses inside. Edwin has become a terrific off-speed hitter. Really doing a good job of laying off those borderline pitches.
Recognizing the pitches, and when they are throwing strikes, he is attacking them much better this year at hitting the off-speed pitches.
Just barely foul. Leaders in the American League. Josh Hamilton has 20. Look at his home run differential from a year ago. He had 1 at this time. Now he has 20. Same for Encarnacion. He's improved by 16 home runs. Josh Reddick wasn't a regular last year. Now he is with the A's. Adam Nunn's had a big bounce back season, and David Freese of the Cardinals on that run differential, home run differential list.
Hamilton only had 1 home run because of an injury, right?
But yeah, it's amazing how they have turned things around so dramatically. Of course, Josh Reddick really off to a great start with Oakland.
That trade has turned out to be nice for Oakland.
Andrew Bailey?
Yeah, I thought, boy, the Red Sox really had a Brinks job right here, getting Bailey a top closer for, you know, some guys you really hadn't heard of. But Josh Reddick has turned into a very nice player.
Yeah, he's a good player. Swings the bat well, plays well in the outfield. 3-2 pitch to Edwin Encarnacion. Breaks his back. Colby Erasmus drops down to the 5th spot in the order. He has done really well hitting second with Escobar back. He drops down to the 5th spot, and over his last 8 games, he's been swinging a hot bat.
And now he's in an RBI spot, so you can't argue about that. So when he's starting to get those hits, he's going to be driving in more runs. When you hit 353, you got to figure with 4 doubles, 2 home runs, you're going to have more than 6 RBIs. John Farrell drops him down into the 5th slot. He's got some RBI chances now with a hot bat.
Buck Showalter has changed his opinion of Colby Erasmus as to how he plays him. You take a look at the Orioles defensively and how they have set up. Steve Collison, the 3rd baseman, is the only defender on the 3rd base side of second. They've shifted 3 infielders onto the right side of the infield.
Yeah, not afraid to go ahead and do that. Tampa, the Blue Jays, the Orioles, probably the teams that do it the most.
Even those tradition-rich Yankees, we've seen them shift a little bit more than we have. Erasmus fouls it back.
I think that's respect when you've got a team that recognizes that you're a good hitter, and that you're out in front, and you pull a lot of balls. Shows you a lot of respect that they'll put 3 guys over there. Now, don't change anything. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. That's when hitters really get into trouble, when they look up and say, hey, there's a lot of room over there. Well, that's not the kind of hitter you are. Colby Erasmus, throughout his minor league career, was a dramatic pull hitter, and that reflects these numbers here, and that's why Buck Showalter has shifted his defense around.
Got to the big leagues very quickly through the Cardinals system, and they hit him 1 or 2 in the top of the lineup, and he thought he had to try to be one of those top of the lineup kind of guys, use the whole field, but that's not the type of hitter Colby is.
The shift really came to prominence many years ago. Lou Boudreau, the manager of the Cleveland Indians, shifted on Ted Williams, especially at Fenway Park, and Ted Williams never changed his stroke. Every time he looked up, people were standing in center and right. He did okay.
The Williams shift.
Yep. 2-2. Hot shot. Andino takes it on the backhand, throws in the dirt, but Reynolds digs it out. Rasmus hit another ball hard.
Man, what a play by Andino. Self-defense at second base because that ball scalded right at him. Andino down to his knees to catch that one. That was a bullet with some serious topspin on it, but he handled it beautifully.
2 outs. J.P. Arancibia. Arancibia and Arrieta were teammates on Team USA in the summer of 2006. Arancibia played collegiately at the University of Tennessee, and Arrieta was at TCU, Texas Christian University. They were teammates. David Price was on that team. Tommy Hunter was also on that team. Ball is hit hard, but Adam Jones is right there to make the grab. Arrieta has a 1-2-3 second. Orioles have a 1-0 lead. The game is Kevin Hardy. Congratulations to Kevin. He's from Nova Scotia for being selected tonight's Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday Fan of the Game. Kevin says, I would walk 880 miles from my house in Nova Scotia to come to watch the Blue Jays win. If you would like to be selected as the Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday Fan of the Game, send us a picture and tell us why you should be selected. More information at bluejays.com/fan of the game. A lot of fans here are tweeting right now. Young crowd at Rogers Center. This Blue Jay team has become very popular with the young crowd. And of course, Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday is a hit. And right then everybody says, Buck's talking about me right now.
They tweet us, don't they? We get questions asked us on these days.
We send them to the control room and then they ask us the questions. Steve Tolleson, hot shot, backhanded by Laurie. On the money. What a good play. Possible extra base is taken away by Laurie's glove at third.
You have to have quick feet and quick hands to play a corner position in the big leagues. You see the quickness that Laurie had would make that play difficult. Well, he wasn't real sure if it was going to hit a seam or if it was going to hit that dirt. But he comes up with it with those good hands, and then after he catches it, it's an easy throw across the diamond.
Back to the top of the order. Robert Andino takes a strike. Andino grounded to Laurie his first time up. Brian Roberts is rehabbing. He's the second baseman that Dino is replacing. Roberts, for the last couple of years, has been dealing with concussion issues. Roberts' rehab stint will be over on June 11th. But if he's not quite ready, then they can ask for an extension of that time. Umpire said he went around, and Dina said, "Come on, man, that's not a swing." But Doug Eddings never hesitated as Andino's called for a swinging strikeout.
Andino better get into the dugout or it might cost him. Quickly. Look, Showalter not real happy with that call. Looked like a changeup from Romero. No, that's a curveball. Bounces in front of home plate, and watch the umpire right away. He calls it. Andino, it looked like he went around on that one.
Ricky Romero with 3 strikeouts. Ball hit into left field. Davis is there. Ricky Romero has a quick 1-2-3 third inning. Enjoying those big comfort green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone is the Greenest City Environmental Organization, inspiring people to build healthy neighborhoods. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TV. On a beautiful night here at Rogers Center, it has cooled off and there's a nice breeze and the roof is wide open. Brett Laurie takes the first pitch strike. I think by now the hitters should recognize that Doug Eddings is going to call some strikes.
Yeah, and both pitchers are around the strike zone, so you've got to be ready to swing it as soon as you get into the batter's box. Arrieta has thrown some very good pitches so far in his 2 innings of work, and Romero the same way. He's been around the plate. He's used all of his pitches. Arrieta's got a good breaking ball.
It's unusual. You don't see many hard breaking balls like Arrieta's thrown here. Big curveball. It's got a good bite on it. Comes out of his hand about the same angle as his fastball.
He's throwing harder now than at any time in the last 3 years. His fastball about 93, just a tick over 93 miles an hour, which is the best in his career.
One ball, 2 strikes. Brett Laurie leading off the bottom of the third. Plays off the breaking ball. Laurie made his debut last August 5th in Baltimore against the Orioles. Picked up a hit in his first at bat, an RBI single off Tommy Hunter. 2-2. Hold on. Tommy Hunter was the starter in last night's game for the Orioles, and he has been sent back to the minor leagues. He had not won a game since he faced the Blue Jays in April in Baltimore. Been a tough stretch for Tommy Hunter, and they've sent him out.
They've got some off days coming up. They don't need that fifth starter for a while.
And Glory got on top of that high fastball. First hit of the game for the Jays.
The Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
First baseman David Cooper, 2 for 4 in last night's game. Looks a pitch upstairs. Cooper can handle bat. We have seen him use the hit and run already since he's joined this team. He makes contact, hits the ball on all parts of the field, and Laurie, of course, can run.
Yeah, doesn't strike out a lot, understands situational hitting. And Laurie has got a very good lead over there at first base, and he's got some speed, so it makes sense early in the game, early in the count, to go ahead and try and open up a hole on the infield.
Percentages are better to play hit and run than try the straight steal against Matt Wieters. Wieters throws top base runners at a 38% clip. Arrieta does a pretty good job of giving him a good shot at cutting down those base stealers.
He's only given up 3 stolen bases all season long. Wieters was the best throwing catcher in the American League last year, percentage-wise, and throwing out base runners. He's right up there again this year.
Ball on the strike. Base hit into center field. Jones comes up with it cleanly, and Laurie had to stop at second. Cooper can swing it.
Well, he is all over that fastball that time. He's got a nice swing. How short he is, right to the ball. The head of the bat goes right to the baseball. Watch that. No extra movement, not much of a stride at the plate. Uses his hands, and that was a solid single to center. This is where we were in yesterday's ball game, wasn't it?
Second inning yesterday. First and second, nobody out. Omar Vizquel bunted, sacrifice bunt. Orioles are expecting the same. Steve Tollison, the third baseman, is in front of the bag at third. Reynolds the same across the diamond at first. Davis squares the bunt and takes the ball. Orioles had a similar situation in their game last night in the third inning. But Chris Davis got picked off second base. Strong throw from Jeff Mathis.
Yeah, what you want to guard against is that batter bunting through a ball. If you're the runner at second base and you get too far away from second base. Orioles play it a little bit differently than people. The shortstop doesn't duck in behind second base to keep the runner close. They use the second baseman.
Davis bunts it, and it's a beauty. Pitcher Arrieta gets it and throws it away down the right field line. One run is in. David Cooper is going to be stopped at third. Arrieta took the ball right out of the glove of Mark Reynolds. He should have let the third baseman take the play.
Yeah, he is more used to that type of throw, that type of play, grabbing it with your bare hand and then throwing it across the infield. Anytime you can get the pitcher involved in a play, if you're the offensive team, I think it's a bonus. They're not used to handling the ball like the infielders. And you're right, it's a perfect bunt by Rajai Davis. Try to make the third baseman feel it. Arrieta aggressively gets it and just heaves it down the right field line, and the Blue Jays are in business.
That's the third error committed by Jake Arrieta, and he gets in front of Mark Reynolds and just throws it away. Reynolds was right there ready to make the play. Big opportunity for the Blue Jays. Still nobody out, second and third. Kelly Johnson has become a consistent RBI guy. 26 ribbies. 2 more. Second and third standing on the bases.
With runners on first and second, the batter wants to get the ball to the left side of the infield, make that third baseman feel it. That leaves third base wide open for the runner, but when Arrieta takes the ball away from him, throws it down the line, Laurie can score second or third, and nobody out.
Breaking ball, bounced foul. Torey Lovullo brings a group of runners out every day. They get to the batting cage about 4 o'clock, and they bunt, and they have zones where they are credited with a good bunt if they get it tight to that baseline. And Lovullo had Davis and Jeff Mathis out here this afternoon about 4:15.
Bunting for a purpose, for a reason, and it's paid off already.
Jake Arrieta is in an early game jam. 1-1 game. Kelly Johnson batting with nobody out.
Looking for a productive at bat. Get him over, get him in with a shot to the right side of the diamond.
And Yunel Escobar is on deck. This is what we were talking about. 4:15 this afternoon. Rajay Davis was bunting and probably bunted 50 balls. And in his first at bat tonight, it pays off.
And about 40 feet in front of home plate, throwing ball up the ball to him.
Kelly Johnson called out on a backdoor breaking ball. That's the one thing that would get Arrieta a little breathing room, a strikeout.
You can't give up on that curveball. Yeah, that's probably his best pitch, that hard overhand curveball just on the plate. Johnson thinks it's up and away and can't move the runners along.
Well, the thing about that up and away breaking ball, it's an easy ball to hit to the outfield with 2 strikes. Slap into the outfield.
It's an easy ball to pop up too.
1 out. Blue Jays need to take advantage of this situation. Arrieta got himself into a jam with the throwing error. It's already cost him 1 run. It could cost
the error in last night's game by the Orioles.
Ground ball. Tollison swipes at Davis. No tag. And Davis is still at third base. Cooper comes in. The Blue Jays take a 2-1 lead. Escobar gets the RBI on the ground down to third.
Only the speed of Rajay Davis enabled him to get to third base on that play. He breaks right away. You can do that. A little slow roller to the third baseman where he's got to come across the diamond. He's got to pay attention to that baseball. Not real sure where that runner is, but the good speed of Davis got him up 90 feet.
Jose Bautista called out on a curveball his first time up. Rajay Davis at third has to be aware that Arrieta's thrown that curveball a lot. It could bounce it in the dirt.
And he can get a big lead at third base because Tollison, the third baseman's got to play back with Bautista at the plate.
John Farrell will join us out of the next break, as he always does on Tuesday night, live from the dugout. Bring us up to speed with everything that's happened so far. Two and 1 to Bautista. Good slider and a good spot down and away.
We have seen Jose take that pitch, especially in these situations with the right side of the infield open. Just dump it in the right side. Pick up RBIs that way.
Pop this one up. Shortstop J.J. Hardy waits on it. Makes the catch. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays scored 2. They've taken a 2-1 lead. John Farrell will join us when we come back. By Speedy Auto Service. At Speedy, you're a somebody, and we are joined now by John Farrell from the dugout. And John, I want to talk to you a little bit about the defensive shifts, the way teams have shifted, and how frequently Brian Butterfield comes to you in the course of the game to make adjustments to those shifts. That seems to be a pretty constant endeavor this season.
Yeah, it has, Buck. And actually, in our preparation before a series, we identify those guys that will overshift with the amount of information that we do have available to us. And really, Butter's diligence and his creativeness really takes over. But the information really shows a lot of trends that you can play to.
John, from up here, Ricky Romero looks free and easy on the mound. How's he looking to you?
Yeah, Tabby, I would agree with you totally. I think the biggest difference is the pace and the tempo to the game. You know, I think the last couple of starts we've seen him a little bit long in between pitches. Today, he's getting right back up on the rubber and delivering the next one.
John, thanks for your time.
Okay, guys.
Ricky Romero now staked to a 2-1 lead as he is set to start the top of the 4th. Markakis, Jones, and Wieters. Heart of the order for the Orioles. Nick Markakis is in his 7th season with the Orioles. He is a first-round pick, was a two-way player in junior college in Georgia. He was a pitcher and an outfielder. I can remember the first day that Markakis came to Oriole Park at Camden Yards. And he was a skinny little outfielder, but man, could he put a charge in the ball. He put on a show in batting practice there. This is a big bouncing ball to second. Kelly Johnson has it. Romero has the first time at the bottom of the 4th.
One of the best arms in the American League. He was drafted the same year in the same round that his buddy, the center fielder, was drafted. Markakis was the 7th overall pick in 2003, and Adam Jones, who bats right behind him, was a compensatory pick, first-round pick of the Seattle Mariners in 2003. Adam Jones was a shortstop when he signed.
Pretty big shortstop.
Spent his first 3 years in pro baseball as a shortstop.
I think they knew all along he'd eventually move to the outfield, and when you have shortstop skills, it certainly translates to a center fielder.
You're an athlete, and there's so many guys who started as shortstops and moved to center field. The most famous, I think, is Mickey Mantle. Was a shortstop when he signed, and then couldn't handle that, went to the outfield.
Bobby Mercer in the same way. Mercer came up as a shortstop and was slated to be the next Mickey Mantle for the Yankees. Jones out in front of that off-speed pitch.
Pulled the string 2-0 against Adam Jones. Good changeup.
Jones homered his first time up. Swung at the first pitch and hit a fly ball over the wall in right. They mentioned that home run extended Adam Jones's hit streak to 20 hit streaks this season. Josh Hamilton of the Rangers has a 16-gamer. Derek Jeter 15. Josh Wood and Paul Konerko has a 14-gamer that's still intact.
Yeah, the two highlighted ones there, Jones and Konerko, those are active hit streaks in the American League right now. Paul Konerko's having a big year for the White Sox.
Paul Konerko leading in 2 of the 3 Triple Crown categories. He is on a tear. Bounce wide of third. Actually, Hamilton is leading in 2 of the 3 Triple Crown categories, home runs and RBIs, and Konerko's leading in batting average.
And he is right up there in all the other categories.
Konerko going into play tonight, .395 average. Hamilton has 20 home runs and 53 RBI. He leads in those 2 categories. Jones fouls it off.
White Sox are really swinging that bat now, aren't they?
They're swinging it, and they're getting pretty good pitching as well. Chicago White Sox are just a half a game behind the Cleveland Indians. They've won 6 in a row. Philip Humbert starts tonight against James Shields down in St. Petersburg as the White Sox take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Jones takes the walk. A 1-out walk issued to Adam Jones. That'll bring Matt Wieters to the plate. Wieters was hit by a pitch in his first hit. Romero had him in a hole 1 and 2, tried to bust him inside and hit him. Off-speed pitch. Wieters was trying to ambush a fastball. One out. We're in the 4th inning.
Jones is a threat to steal over at first base. He's got 8 stolen bases. Wayne Kirby, his base coach there at first base, thinks he can steal 30. That's how talented he thinks his young center fielder is. Wayne Kirby in charge of outfield and base running.
Ball on a strike. 8 for 12 so far this season. Getting some help from Wayne Kirby as they look across the diamond to the third base coach, DeMarlo Hale. Another off-speed pitch, and Wieters is out in front. Buck Showalter knows his catcher is scuffling a bit. Might be a time just to start the runner, see if you can't create a hole and get him an infield hit. He's 7 for his last 60.
Yeah, struggling. He was hitting .300 the last time the Blue Jays saw him.
Bounce toward third. Laurie comes after it. Makes a good throw on the run. 2 outs. Ricky Ramirez had a real good run here at Rogers Center this year. He's got a perfect 4-0 record. His ERA just over 3 compared to the road trip. He hasn't really pitched that poorly away from home, but he's been really dominant here at home.
The whip, I think, is the biggest reason that he's had his troubles on the road. A 1.5. It's almost 1.5 base runners an inning, and you're going to run into trouble that way. Again, hitters just hitting .208 against Romero on the season. That has gone down from last year. It's just the amount of walks that have hurt him.
First pitch breaking ball to Mark Reynolds. Reynolds grounded out. His first time up. Reynolds has just 3 hits against Ricky Romero. The problem is all 3 hits were home runs. Ramirez out in front. Jones walked. He moved to second on the ground out of Wieters. Romero trying to protect this 1-run lead here in the 4th.
Got some options here, I think, with Reynolds. I think he can elevate a fastball if he wants to. They got Adam Jones last night with a high fastball. Prone to strike out and pitches out of the strike zone.
Played off that curveball, and now he's got Reynolds thinking about bottom part of the zone, and he can elevate a pitch upstairs. Drew Hutchison on the left was great yesterday. 7 innings, 3 hits, shut out the Orioles. His best start by far in his young career. Bounced way out in front of home. Brandon Morrow and Drew Hutchison have resisted the urge to take a seat. They're standing up.
They get the clapping going, trying to get the crowd into it.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. They stay together, don't they, those starters?
Here's the 2-2. Another breaking ball. 4 straight breaking balls in a row, and that doesn't make much sense to me. You got a free swinger up there that'll just wail away.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. He got to 0-2 on breaking balls. And now 3 in a row. Got to show him something a little different.
Full count, 2 outs. Jones at second base. And with the changeup and strikes out Reynolds. Orioles get a base runner, but leave him at second base. Blue Jays have a 2-1 lead. Twitter Tuesday, and always we want to remind you that you can follow the Blue Jays on Twitter, and there are a bunch of their Twitter handles. You can log on to Twitter and follow your favorite Blue Jay. Omar Vizquel. I imagine he's got some interesting things to say.
Yes.
He's quite an interesting guy to talk to. B. Laurie 13.
In-cat win, I guess, is Edwin Encarnacion. That's the first time that I've seen his handle.
Edwin Encarnacion grounded to third his last time up. Edwin is second, tied for second with Adam Dunn for the American League lead in home runs. Josh Hamilton leads with 20. Edwin is second to Hamilton in RBIs. Another ground ball to third. Collison has it in plenty of time. Steve Tollison starting at third base tonight, and that's been a revolving door over there at third base. Tollison was just called up on the 10th of May from AAA Norfolk. He's been with the Twins, played with the A's in the big leagues, and now he's here trying to shore up the defense at third.
4 third basemen the Orioles have used this year. Betamete, Flaherty, Reynolds, and now Tollison.
Colby Rasmus grounded out sharply to second base his first time up, and hammers this ball down the right field line. That's a fair ball. And one hops into the seats for a ground rule double. His 10th double of the season. And he jumped all over that first pitch from Arrieta.
Another first pitch, and it doesn't have to be a fastball. It's a breaking ball, and Colby Rasmus can really handle that breaking ball that's down and in. Watch him go down and get it, and then keep it fair. There's an art and a science to be able to keep that ball down and in fair instead of hooking it foul. You bring your hands in, the bat comes in a little bit truer, and then the ball straightens out. Rasmus smoked that ball to right field.
J.P. Arancibia, ball in the dirt. Peters keeps it close enough so Rasmus has to hold his ground. Boy, Colby Rasmus has turned things around dramatically. He's hitting the ball hard just about every AB.
It's like his mind is freed up. You know, he's gone up there and he said, you know, I'm not going to be thinking about this or that. I'm just going to let my talent come to the surface and just be a baseball player. He looks great to me. Every night he is hitting the ball hard.
Yeah, and that's all you want. You go up there, you get forward bats, you hit the ball hard, and let the chips fall where they may. Don't start thinking about guiding it, thinking about how many I have to have, what my average is. And he's doing exactly that.
Yeah.
Having good at bats.
It's too hard to go up there and have 4, 5, 6 different thoughts in your head and then still hit a big league pitcher.
Three 3-0 to Arancibia. Brett Lawrie is on deck. Bottom of the 4th inning. A 4-pitch walk. First and second, 1 out. Jake Arrieta has had a little rough stretch, much like Ricky Romero. His last 4 starts. He's 0-3. The ERA well over 7. Opponents are hitting nearly .350 against him, and he's allowed 5 home runs.
He has faced Texas, Tampa Bay, Washington, and the Boston Red Sox in those last 4 starts. A no decision against Washington. All the other ones, and we just were in Tampa, and we're in Texas, and we know what those teams can do to young pitchers.
You got a no decision against Washington. Brett Lawrie drives it toward the gap. Markakis after it. He's not going to get it. Rasmus is around third. He's going to score. Arancibia is being waved home. Here's the relay to the plate. Not in time. Brett Lawrie drives in two with a line double to the wall in right center.
That's the Brett Lawrie that we saw in spring training, taking a high fastball and tomahawking it into right field with authority. That ball had some juice as it was making its way to right center field. Lawrie picks up a couple of RBIs. Watch how short and right to the ball. He stays behind the ball, and that allows him to drive the ball into right center field. Instead of going out and getting it, he's letting it come to him. And that ball was hammered out in the right field for a couple more runs.
4-1 Blue Jays. Nobody out. David Cooper singled and scored in the 3rd. Off the plate, 2-0. The Orioles had a short start last night. Tommy Hunter went 3 innings plus 2 batters.
That's why the Orioles had to make a couple more roster moves again today.
They added Miguel Gonzalez, a right-handed relief pitcher. Sent Tommy Hunter back to the minors. They activated Andy Chavez, the outfielder. 2-2. For Chavez, they demoted Xavier Avery, young left-hander, left-handed hitting outfielder, and so Chavez is back off the DL, and Miguel Gonzalez is up with the Orioles for the first time.
36 player moves this month for the Orioles.
Full count, 1 out. Orioles got out to a great start. 13 games over 500, and since then they have fallen to 2-6.
Played great on the road this year. It's a legit team, I think. They've got good bullpen, and they throw a lot of strikes.
Cooper fouls off the breaking pitch. No matter how good your position players are, this is what counts. Starting pitching. Blue Jays saw that dramatically last night. After a 1-5 road trip, they looked like a good team again last night because the starter went 7.
Simple formula.
Broken bat, little looper into center. Jones drops it. Lowry's going to go to third. Heads up base running by Brett Lowry. Never took his eye off the ball. And once it popped out of the glove of Adam Jones, he moved over to third.
Yeah, with his speed, he can move up 90 feet, even on a Gold Glover in center field. Right off the end of the bat, changeup, and all that's left in his hand. Ball was in the glove and then out for Jones. Lowry's thinking about tagging, but then once he sees it on the ground, he can move up.
Third air charge to Adam Jones. That extra 90 feet's huge for the Blue Jays. Lowry now gets to third base. Fly ball to the outfield. He can tag and score. Cooper's at first base.
Chances are they're not going to turn 2 against Rajai Davis because he runs so well. So any ground ball to the infield, you've got to be going. Rajai has been good early in the count when he's got runners on base like this. They've tried to get ahead of him with fastballs, and Rajai's been waiting for it.
Now here's a situation that just screams for that safety squeeze, and Tampa Bay runs it so effectively. Everybody in the East is aware of it. But first and third, good base runner at third, good bunter at the plate. All you got to do is push it between the mound and first base. Get you an extra run.
Yeah, it's an easy RBI. They might give him one shot at it, though. There it is.
He got one shot and delivers. Base hit, kicked around by Betterman. David Cooper will end up at third. Rajai Davis will get to second. The Blue Jays have taken a 5-1 lead.
Not waiting around, Rajai Davis. He's got ducks on the pond. RBIs out there. He is swinging that bat early in the count, all over this first pitch, and he rips it by Tolson, and it handcuffs Bedemeat in the outfield. Bedemeat making just his 5th start in left field. Boots that one, and then the runners are allowed to move up.
The Orioles have now committed 46 errors on the season. Kelly Johnson takes the first pitch strike. Infield is drawn in. 3 runs in. Second and third, just 1 out. Oh, 1-2.
Got him last time on that backdoor curveball with runners on base.
Trying to get him to chase that high fastball. Ricky Romero in need of a turnaround start. Got a good lead here. Bottom of the 4th. Kelly Johnson called out on an inside fastball. Borderline pitch inside and up.
Fastball, that comeback fastball, 2-seamer. Left-handers have a tendency to give up on it, but you see it crosses the plate. It looked like it might have been high enough. Good pitch by Arrieta.
Well, now there are 2 outs. Yunel Escobar had an RBI ground out in the 3rd. He struck out in the 1st. A couple of big runs out there, 2nd and 3rd.
Escobar has had good numbers like you were talking about in the 1st inning against Arrieta in his career. Good time for a hit right here.
Lined right to the shortstop. Blue Jays score 3. They've taken a 5-1 lead. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Brandon Morrow will go to the mound tomorrow in the series finale. Morrow anxious to get back on with that mound after his last short start. It'll all be right here on Sportsnet tomorrow. It starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the pregame show, 3:30 p.m. Pacific. Boy, that's the one thing about starting pitchers. It's a tough 4 days when you got to sit around and think about your previous last start when it only lasted 2/3 of an inning.
2/3 of an inning. You throw in an off day here or there. It could be a little bit longer than 5 days. Tonight, watching Brandon Morrow on the sidelines over there in the dugout, it looks like he's itching to get out there.
I think Ricky and Brandon both aware that they need to get something going. And Brandon and Ricky have both been good all season long. They got good records and reasonable ERAs. Chris Davis leads things off here in the 5th with a single. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Tampa Bay signed Hideki Matsui, and as soon as he was ready, they inserted him into the lineup. He is in left field and delivers in his first game. They also got the catcher, Jose Lobaton, back as he has come off the disabled list. Chris Jimenez was sent back to the minors, and Tampa Bay is getting healthy. Desmond Jennings will be the next to rejoin them.
You still need the big man to get healthy.
Yeah, the big man's a few weeks away, probably another 3 weeks for Evan Longoria. James Shields doing his thing again tonight. 4 innings, 5 hits, hasn't walked a batter and struck out 5. He's money in the bank.
Yeah. 11 complete games last year. 4 shutouts. Doing it again this year.
Wilson Bettamy takes the strike. It's 2-1. The Orioles really dodged a bullet when they had back-to-back errors committed in the outfield. Blue Jays couldn't take advantage of it. They stranded runners at second and third.
Here he had a pitch tough. He got the big strikeout that he needed. And Johnson, then the line drive right after shortstop.
Benamite strikes out. That's the first out of the top of the fifth. 5 strikeouts for Romero.
Looked like a changeup that got the timing of Wilson Benamite out in front. Romero's always got that pitch in the bank, and he's also got such movement on his pitches that he gets a lot of ground ball outs, a lot of double plays. So he's always one pitch away from ending an inning.
Get me over curveball to Steve Tonneson. Orioles with just 2 hits. A solo home run by Adam Jones in the second, and then the leadoff single by Chris Davis here in the fifth.
He has made 12 starts in his career versus the Baltimore Orioles, so he knows what he wants to do.
At top of the zone. That has been a strike all night long. Kelly Johnson was called out on a similar pitch. Changeup, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts after the leadoff single.
Again, the thing about his changeup is you're not real sure where it's going to go. This one acts like a slider. Looked like it was on the outside part of the plate, on the inside part of the plate. And again, 12 starts against Baltimore, and he's had a lot of success.
Last 2 seasons, 8 starts, 6-1 record, and ERA just over 2, and a whip right at 1. And he likes facing the Orioles, and he's pitching with conviction tonight. Something we haven't seen. Buck Showalter not happy with the strike zone.
It's been a consistent strike zone all night long.
And Dino lines it in front of Rasmus, who plays it on a hop. And Dino's first hit in 3 at bats. And now J.J. Hardy will bat with 2 runners aboard. Broke all the way across the plate, trying to come on the outside corner, and movement took it all the way across the plate.
Hardy, a big home run threat. 10 home runs again this year. Big year last year for Baltimore out of the shortstop spot.
Hit 30 home runs a year ago and drove in 80.
In the last calendar year, going back to June the 1st of last year. You know about Josh Hamilton and Curtis Granderson. They are 1 and 2 in the most home runs. Hardy's tied for 3rd for the most home runs since last June 1st. He's tied with another slugger, Matt Kemp.
It's really a bonus when you can get that kind of power production from your shortstop. It's like having an extra bat in the lineup.
38 home runs in almost a calendar year.
The breaking ball bounced into dirt.
That's why I thought the Phillies with Chase Utley at second base was a very good offensive team, because that's a position where you don't get that type of power and production. Same thing could be said about Baltimore.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hardy stays alive.
Curveball's working.
Brett Lawrie, a 2-run double in the 4th.
Yeah.
Look at that. A Hart, 3B.
Yep. Need a few more people to sit out.
Down in the dirt, it's a full count. Looks like a B. That got to be Hart. Left early. Ricky Romero did the spin move to check on him. There go the runners. Bouncing ball, shortstop. Escobar across the diamond to first, and Romero gets out of it. Through 4.5, the Blue Jays have a 5-1 lead. Jose Bautista will lead things off, followed by Edwin Encarnacion and Colby Rasmus. Young fans have made a heart, and then the 3B, and then the pitchers, Brandon Morrow and Kyle Drabek, are saying, look, that's love, third baseman.
Now I get it. Love the third baseman. That is awesome.
Love the third baseman.
And I think you were right on who spelled that out. A lot of young girls.
Yeah. The Glory has become a very popular Blue Jay. Yeah, look, they're young girls that have followed Brett Lawrie, and they have been very creative.
He didn't let him down. Had a couple of hits tonight with a couple of RBIs, a couple runs scored.
Blue Jays need to string some games together, and obviously the way you do that is you get good starting pitching. Got a great start last night. Ricky Romero's off to a good start here tonight. A lot of managers have always been quoted over the years, your momentum's only as good as your next game's starter. Drew Hutchison set the bar very high. 7 innings of 3-hit shutout ball.
Boy, he was great last night and made some adjustments on his own. Said he wanted to throw a little bit harder, used his legs just a little bit more. Really kept him on line going towards home plate.
Post pitch, and Bautista gets the call. He'll take the leadoff walk. You know, in reference to Drew Hutchison, Mel Didier, the great scout that's the advisor for the Blue Jays, talked to me about Hutchison in the spring. He said, as he always does, you know, partner, this young guy's going to throw harder as soon as he starts learning how to use his legs, and that's exactly what he did last night. He drove that fastball right to the bottom of the zone.
At 95 miles an hour in his last inning.
Encarnacion fouls it back.
Consistently hitting 95 last night. With a little bit more depth on his breaking ball.
Ball on the strike. Orioles bullpen starts to warm up. Miguel Gonzalez just added to the roster here this afternoon. He is an interesting guy that has had a up and down path to the big leagues. Two balls and a strike. Outside. Bautista with the leadoff walk. Blue Jays scored 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth.
Look out now. This is where Edwin Encarnacion was a little bit aggressive. 3-1. He's sitting all over a fastball. Crossed him up.
Little cutter to got the outside corner.
Always liked Jake Arrieta's arm. It's free and easy. He throws 93 with some good off-speed pitches. I think it's just a matter of time before he becomes a big winner.
There goes Bautista. Ball is bounced foul. Breaking ball. Bautista was on the move.
Arrieta certainly has the size and the look of a big league pitcher. 6'4", 225 pounds. Good mechanics. Wears number 34 because his idol was Nolan Ryan.
Bautista going again. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks here in the bottom of the 5th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Bad news for the Phillies, as Jamie mentioned. Roy Halladay out for an extended period of time. He's got shoulder problems, and they don't need any more injuries. Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, both on the shelf. Cliff Lee, now Roy Halladay.
Cliff Lee hasn't won a game, has he?
I don't believe he has.
I don't think he's won a game. And the first reports we heard today, Halladay 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. Not good. Blue Jays threatening again. Still nobody out. Bautista at second, Encarnacion at first, and Colby Rasmus Hit a rocket double down the right field line his last time up. Marietta just hasn't been able to stay ahead and make quality pitches. And runners on base again. Blue Jays scored 3 in the 4th inning in stranded pair.
First 2 innings, it was boom, boom, boom. 6 up, 6 down for Arrieta. Ran into some trouble with some errors in the 3rd inning.
Hit runners on. It's popped up. And Wilson Betemit looked like he never saw it. Kind of wandered over toward it, but I don't know if he could have got there had he seen it where it hit in foul ground. He's playing in the gap in left center with the pull hitter.
Certainly didn't run after it like he saw it off the bat of Colby Rasmus. Again, just his 5th start in left field this season. He normally plays 3rd base. DHs a few games for the Orioles.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Another pop up. Tollison over to give it a look, and it's a couple rows back out of play. Blue Jays so far tonight have gone 3 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Last night's game, they scored 6 runs on 12 hits. Hit a pair of 2-run homers, Kelly Johnson and Edwin Encarnacion. Breaking ball, and Rasmus strikes out. Arrieta comes with a good breaking ball. That's his 5th strikeout.
He's got the stuff to find his way out of problems. Watch this curveball. Right over the top with it. And then batters hitting just 182 against him. So he picks up the strikeout without the runners advancing. And I think Buck Showalter is going to go to his bullpen.
Arrieta threw 96 pitches. Miguel Gonzalez will come in and make his debut with the Orioles. Sportsnet will be the Yankees and the Angels on Sportsnet Pacific and West. It all begins at 10 p.m. Eastern time. That's 7 p.m. Pacific time. Andy Pettitte goes to the mound for the New York Yankees against Dan Herron for the Angels. And last night they had a barn burner. Mark Trumbull hit a walk-off home run for the Angels, and looks to be another good matchup tonight. Jake Arrieta is gone, and Miguel Gonzalez makes his major league debut here tonight.
Look at these numbers that he put together at Norfolk, the AAA farm team for the Baltimore Orioles. 2-1, 150 earned run average. Doesn't walk anybody. He is going to be around the plate again. Doesn't throw that hard, but he's got 4 pitches that he can throw for strikes. And he had great numbers down there. Struck out 36 and walked just 5.
Gonzalez is 28 years old. Started his professional career with the Angels. Fouls that pitch back. He was born in Guadalajara, Mexico. Signed with the Angels as a rookie free agent in 2005. He was selected by Boston in the 2008 Rule 5 draft, but then suffered a knee injury. Oh, 1-2 to Aaron Sevilla. 3-pitch strikeout. How about Gonzalez, first big league batter? Racks up a strikeout.
Good command and a good spot with this fastball. 92, 93 miles an hour on the outside part of the plate. Exceptional command. He only allowed 15 base runners so far this year.
Gonzalez will face Brett Lawrie. Lawrie's had a couple of hits tonight. He scored 2 and driven in 2. Two outs. Bautista at second, Encarnacion at first. Base hit to right field. Bautista's getting the wave home. Markakis bobbles it, and the throw is nowhere nearly in time. Big night for Brett Lawrie. His 3rd RBI of the night, and the fans at Rogers Center are thrilled.
That's why they love Brett Lawrie. Swinging it tonight, not waiting around at all. Singled his first time up, doubled to the gap, and drove him 2 runs. And now, first pitch, fastball, rips it into right field. Nick Markakis has to back up on this ball, and that's going to allow Jose Bautista to score the Blue Jays' 6th run of the night. Markakis had to give ground because that ball was hit so hard. Lawrie not wasting any time with that ball to right field.
Brett Lawrie now has 20 RBIs for the season. 3 tonight. David Cooper. Cooper's been on base twice. Mentioned Miguel Gonzalez just joining the Orioles this afternoon. He also had Tommy John surgery in 2009. He was a member of the Red Sox. He was at Pawtucket. And then he sat out the past 2 years before he signed a minor league deal with the Orioles. There goes Lawrie. Cooper breaks his bat. We're going to have another base hit. Encarnacion comes in to score. David Cooper took advantage of Laurie's break to second. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop, had the coverage, and he vacated his position, and Cooper hit it right through short.
That's twice now that we have seen Cooper have that ability to hit the ball the other way. Breaks his bat, second at bat in a row, but he's going to end up with another RBI right off the end of the bat. It shatters, but he muscles it into left field for an RBI single. He can hit the ball to all the fields with that short swing, and it's really paying off for him.
He puts the bat on the ball. Sometimes even just a half a bat. Rajai Davis. He's been on base twice, had a bunt single and an RBI single. If you're just joining us, Eric Thames was sent back to AAA. Davis starts in left field. Mike McCoy has been added to the roster for some infield insurance. Ball on the strike. The Orioles have an advantage in the season series. This is the 8th game so far. Baltimore has won 5 of the previous 7. Laurie at third, Cooper at first. 2 runs here in this inning. Foul ball. Doug Eddings quickly coming out as Laurie was coming toward home. Jake Arrieta leaves after 4 1/3, 6 hits, 6 earned runs. He walked 3 and struck out 5. Another disappointing start for Arrieta.
Inconsistent. Started great tonight. First 6 batters, he looked very good. Retired all 6, then a couple of errors. Added a few extra base runners for him.
Rajay Davis, another RBI single to center. Brett Laurie comes in to score for the 3rd time tonight. Davis picks up his 2nd RBI. The bottom third of the Blue Jay order tonight is 8 for 9.
Brett Laurie's been on 3 times with 3 hits. David Cooper has been on 3 times with 2 hits and an error. And now Rajay Davis on base for the 3rd time with his 3rd hit.
Doug Eddings and Matt Wieters in a very animated discussion. And Buck Showalter wants to make sure that he keeps his catcher in the game. The Orioles haven't been too pleased with Eddings' strike zone all night.
Well, if he's arguing about that one pitch to Davis, then he might be out of the ball game.
Yeah, looks like he's already been ejected from the game. He's making his way to the dugout, and now Buck Showalter wants to find out what prompted Doug Eddings to throw Matt Wieters out.
There were a couple close pitches to Rajay Davis on the inner half that were called balls, and I guess Matt Wieters was talking to the umpire, and you start arguing balls and strikes, you're going to get pitched.
Buck Showalter very animated in his discussion with Doug Eddings. So the Orioles will have to get a new catcher. Ronnie Polino will strap on the gear and get behind the plate. But it's been a rough stretch of games for the Orioles. We mentioned they've lost 4 of their last 6 coming into this game tonight. Looks like Ryan Flaherty is just going to come out and catch Gonzalez just to make sure if he wants to stay loose, and Gonzalez appears to be fine. He said, you know what, I'll just wait for the catcher.
Not sure if Polino was down in the bullpen for the Baltimore Orioles. He's not on the bench. Might have been down in the bullpen. So he's got to make his way to the playing field. Some frustration.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. And there is the backup catcher making his way out of the dugout. Ronnie Polino will take over behind the plate. Matt Wieters has been ejected from this game. Blue Jays have scored 3 more runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. This is the last at bat before Wieters was ejected. There's a close pitch that was ruled a ball. Then Rajay swings.
There were a couple of them. I think the one that Matt Wieters got upset about was that one right there. That would have been strike 3, and they would have been out of the inning, and the next pitch right back through the middle for another run.
Kelly Johnson, 0 for 3 so far with a couple of strikeouts. He was called out twice, once on a curveball and once on an inside fastball. Eight-1 Blue Jays. Ricky Romero with a commanding lead.
Stay loose on the bench. Remember, he had a start this year where there was a long inning and he was on the bench. When he came back out, walked a couple of batters, lost his release point. So we'll see as he makes his way out for the 6th.
Kelly Johnson strikes out the Blue Jays with 3 here in the bottom of the 5th, take an 8-1 lead over the Orioles. In the upper deck. The heart is indeed 3-8. We love 38, and that's the Academy St. Marie. They love Stephen McAllister, one of their classmates. His hockey jersey is number 38. He was in an accident and unable to join on this trip, so his friends wanted to make sure that they acknowledged his presence and the fact that he is well thought of here tonight at Rogers Center. And we didn't mean to break Brett Lawrie's heart, but it is a great group of kids from Academy St. Marie, and they want to send their best wishes to Stephen McAllister. We appreciate that, and great job by the young kids from the Academy St. Marie. Bouncing ball takes a big hop off the mound, and Nick Markakis is retired. First out of the 6th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Verlander, 8 hits, 5 earned runs in 5 innings. What's wrong with the Tigers?
I don't know.
Detroit 23-25 going into play tonight, and they have to get things sorted out. Prince Fielder's hitting .312. Miguel Cabrera's hitting .301. But neither one of those guys can pitch.
Isn't that funny how baseball, I mean, in spring training, we saw the Tigers just raking everybody. We said this team's going to win 110 games. Here we are almost into June, and everybody's scratching their head about Detroit.
Detroit, the Angels, although the Angels have won 7 in a row now. They're starting to look right. They're just 6.5 back in the West. Boy, that's going to be a dogfight when the Angels get right and go up head-to-head against the Rangers. But the Angels got a big scare last night, and they haven't really identified the problem. But Jared Weaver had to leave the game after just 12 pitches.
Yeah. walked off the mound with a lower back problem.
Adam Jones has another hit, his second of the night. He's been on base 3 times. He walked in the 4th. Ricky Romero has allowed 4 hits now. Walked just 1, struck out 6. I'm sure he'd like to get a couple of more innings under his belt.
Yeah, get through 7 innings, just like Drew Hutchison did last night. Make things a little bit easier on the bullpen.
Ronnie Paulino batting for the first time after Wieters was ejected. That's a fair ball, just inside the line, down the left field line. Rajay Davis digs it out, and they'll go to the cutoff man. Paulino has a double in his first at bat.
Sometimes your best at bats are the ones where you come into a game and you're not even thinking, you're just reacting to what you see. Pitch on the inner half, and that ball ripped into left field. Just fair down the left field line. Paulino.
Excuse me, the second double of the season for Paulino. Adam Jones at third. Mark Reynolds. Hot shot to Brett Laurie. Puts the runner back at second. Goes to first for the out. Jones comes in to score. It's 8-2 Blue Jays.
Chris, pick him up.
That's how you play the game right there. You know the score, you know the inning. You don't even take a look at that runner that's going home. You're counting outs right now. Brett Laurie caught the ball, looked the runner back at second base, and made a good throw across the infield.
Chris Davis bats with 2 outs. High fly ball deep to left. Rajay Davis looking up. It's a 2-run home run for Chris Davis. Opposite field home run. His 4th home run against the Jays this season.
He has got some natural power in that bat. He doesn't have to pull the ball to hit a home run. You can see that how far that ball went the other way against the left-handed pitcher. Made some adjustments last year when he was in the minor leagues with Texas. Came over here to Baltimore. And that's just a pretty swing. The other way, no doubt about it. Long way opposite field for Davis.
Baltimore with 2 more home runs tonight. They now have 74 for the season. At the start of action tonight, the Rangers had 75. They were tops in the American League. The Yankees at the start of play tonight had 74. Two balls and a strike to the left fielder, Wilson Bettamy. The Yankees play the Angels tonight. That'll be a 10:05 East Coast start. There's a breaking ball. Texas is at home against Seattle. Off the end of the bat. 2-2, 2 outs. The Orioles have scored 3 here in the top of the 6th. A looping curveball missed outside. Chris Davis, as we mentioned, his 4th home run against the Blue Jays this season. Bettamy strikes out. That ends the top of the 6th. Blue Jays lead 8-4. Be 2, 3, and 4 for the Blue Jays. Escobar, Bautista, and Encarnacion when we come back. Romero gets through 6 innings. He gives up 6 hits and frustrated, I'm sure, over the home run to Chris Davis. He has a 4-run lead after 6 innings. Escobar goes after the first pitch and pops it into right field. Nick Markakis is there. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Ricky Romero had made some strides, and in that inning he gave up a 1-out single followed by a double, and looks like his night might be over.
I think so. He's right around 100 pitches. They've got Jason Frazier up throwing right now, and just the way he walked off, his night might be over.
101 pitches for Ricky Romero through 6 innings. Jose Bautista walked and scored in the 5th, his last time up. Jason Frazier loosening. Bullpen had a chance to get a little sorted out last night with Drew Hutchison's 7-inning outing. Frazier took the loss in that tough game on Saturday. 13-inning loss, gave up a 2-run home run to Josh Hamilton after pitching the night before, going 31 pitches in 1 inning of work.
I thought Jesse Chavez really saved the bullpen.
Jose Bautista rips it to left, and Wilson Medemy just kind of Cadillac it over there and swiped at it, went right past him. Bautista's at second with the double. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Orlando Hudson, the former Blue Jay, is playing third base for the White Sox, and the White Sox have a pretty interesting team. Adam Dunn has put up big home run numbers. He has 16 homers so far. A.J. Brzezinski, the catcher, is doing a heck of a job. He's hitting over 300. He's got 33 RBIs.
Not too shabby. Diane Viciedo, the outfielder, is having a big year also.
He's driven in 26. Yeah, they have really surprised a lot of people. Robin Ventura, first-year manager, done a good job. We'll see them next week. Blue Jays will go into Chicago starting a 3-game series on Tuesday night. It was a funny foul ball. Looked like it might have hit Encarnacion on the foot.
I don't think he's feeling his foot right now. Watch where this one hit. Right on the instep there.
Fly ball into center. Bautista halfway. He will go back to second. Encarnacion is 0 for 3. Miguel Gonzalez in his big league debut will face Kobe Rasmus here. Looks like they're going to put Rasmus on with the intentional walk.
You
set up a double play.
You have to. You got a hot bat. You got a right-hander on deck. Well, they're going to pitch to him.
Just a reminder to get to first. I thought they had signaled for the intentional walk, but there are 2 outs. First pitch strike.
Yeah, I thought for sure that they would pitch around him and take their chances with Aaron Sebia with 2 out.
They've closed the gap to just 4 runs. Ball on the strike.
Gonzalez has had great command and control this year, so he's probably going to be very careful with Colby Rasmus. Only given up 5 hits to a left-handed batter this year while he was in AAA.
Just missed downstairs with the fastball. Cut fastball right to the top of the zone. Rasmus got a pretty good pitch to hit right there.
2-2, and I think Colby knows that he missed a good pitch to hit a fastball in the inner half. Now he's going to have to grind it here. Struck out last time on a down and in breaking ball. That was the last batter that Jake Arrieta faced tonight.
Ronnie Paulino going to go out and talk things over with Miguel Gonzalez. Bautista doubled. He's at second now with 2 outs. Good pitch. Gonzalez finds the outside corner. Rasmus strikes out for a second time. Blue Jays leave a base runner. After 6, Jason Frazier will come on to start the 7th. Is in line for the win. He gave up 6 hits, 4 earned runs, walked 1 batter, and struck out 7. And he also gave up a pair of home runs, a solo shot to Adam Jones in the 2nd, and a 2-run home run to Chris Davis in the 6th.
Probably would like to have that one to Davis back, that 2-run home run, but I thought Ricky was more fluid on the mound, loose arm, 7 strikeouts, just 1 walk, and that's very encouraging.
Jason Frazier comes on for the 22nd time this season. Frazier worked on Friday night in Texas through an inning, gave up 3 hits, 4 earned runs, a home run, and threw 31 pitches, and then had to come back and was saddled with the loss in the Saturday afternoon 13-inning game. He gave up a 2-run home run to Josh Hamilton, a walk-off homer. So he's had some rest, and he's on here to work to the Orioles. Bottom of the order, Steve Tollefson, number 9 hitter.
Jason's always better when he's got a couple of days to rest his arm. It was a split changeup that Josh Hamilton hit out for that home run.
Little pop up behind second. Kelly Johnson can't get there. Jose Bautista was deep. Johnson has been hampered by that hamstring problem, and he just couldn't get back there in time to make the play. Kind of hit into no man's land. It's a base hit for Tollefson.
And they have the range that you need right now with that hamstring problem. Bautista looked like he was going to come and get it, but it's out of his reach. He gave up on it. The last minute, Kelly throws up his glove, but it just falls into no man's land, like you said, for the first hit for Tollefson.
Back to the top of the order. Robert Andino. Andino singled his last time up, 1 for 3. Andino had words with Doug Eddings back in the 3rd inning when he was called out on a check swing. Romero bounced a curveball, and Andino didn't think that he'd gone around. Frazier ahead 0-2.
You were talking earlier about Brian Roberts getting very close to coming back here. Roberts is a good player, but Andino's played really well. What do you do?
I think Buck Showalter knows what he has to do. He has to put Brian Roberts at second base. Former All-Star. He has signed a multi-year deal.
How about third base for Robert Andino?
Yeah, he's played there in the past, and that might shore up the defense at third. Grayson Frazier strikes out Andino with a good fastball.
They locked him up right there for another strikeout, and that's something that Ricky Romero did tonight 7 times. More fluid with his pitches. His fastball was good. He threw some changeups to get some outs, bounced a couple of curveballs. The one that you were just talking about, much better. And again, if he could just have one pitch back, it's probably the pitch to Davis that he homered on. Other than that, Ricky had a very good night.
Ricky's in line for his 6th win. J.J. Hardy's gone 0 for 3 tonight. Boy, you're right about Jason Frazier. When he's got a couple of days rest, he comes out firing strikes, and he can hit that down and away corner with his eyes closed.
Yeah, with 3 different pitches. Fastball, that little slider that he has, and that split change. And he knows how to pitch.
Well, he knows who he is. He knows he's not going to beat you inside with a fastball. He doesn't have the best breaking ball in the world. He likes his changeup, but he knows his bread and butter is being able to locate that fastball down and away.
He's got to show him hard stuffing, fastball in at times to get him away. J.J. Hardy's always looking for something on the other half where he can pull. That's why if Frazier makes a pitch here, he'll be fine.
And just missed the outside corner. 2-2. There's that outside corner. Came right back with the same fastball and just moved it over about 4 inches.
Hardy is way off the plate. He really dives into the pitch, but he can't reach this one. It's on the outer corner. Right on the corner. That's a perfect pitch to a right-handed batter. Tough to do anything with that.
Now the Orioles right fielder Nick Markakis. 2 outs. Markakis is 0 for 7 against Jason Frazier. These two teams, of course, meet a lot. AL East rivals. 18 games a season. Two and 0. Blue Jays are a game over 500 at 25 and 24. The entire division is bunched up. Markakis hits this one high and deep to right center. Colby Erasmus will watch it bounce out of the ballpark, and that has saved a run for the time being. Steve Tallison will have to go back to third base on the ground rule double off the bat of Nick Markakis.
Blue Jays catch another break also. Right off the turf and out of the ballpark. And when Tallison was at first base, he can only get to third. 2-0 fastball. Markakis hits it deep to right field. If this stays in the ballpark on a bounce, Tallison's going to score. Markakis is going to have an RBI, but you see the big bounce off the turf. And they've kept him off the board.
Tough customer for Jason Frazier will be Adam Jones. Jones has gone 2 for 2, solo home run, single, and walked. Shooting for that outside corner again.
Yeah, it lives out there. Jones has power the opposite way. We saw that in his first at bat in the second inning when he homered to right field.
Off speed pitch. Jones was way out in front. This is the 12th appearance Frazier has made in the month of May. Total of 8 1/3. He's allowed 8 hits and 5 earned runs this month. Steve Tallison, with nobody keeping an eye on him, makes a big break toward home. Frazier stepped off. Just an attempt to make sure that Frazier didn't stop his delivery. Bluffed down the third baseline.
It's a veteran move, isn't it, by Frazier? He's seen that before. Just step off. A lot of times when you see runners trying to break from third, they're trying to get that pitcher to move and try and get him to balk.
You could see Steve Tallison telling DeMarlo Hill almost got him. And Frazier just calmly stepped off the rubber.
Yeah, just a little flinch. That's what you're looking for. Frazier wouldn't have anything to do with it.
This is a big at bat. Second and third. Top of the 7th. Off the plate. Base hit here. The Orioles are within 2.
Yeah, and you got to think like that. You also have to think if you walk and the tying run comes to the plate. Just like that. So what do? You've got a base open. And Adam Jones is a better hitter than Ronnie Polino.
3-1. Roma slider. Bases are loaded. So Ronnie Polino will bat for a second time. He doubled in his first at bat in the 6th inning. The starter Matt Wieters was ejected by home plate umpire Doug Eddings. Rogers customers have more ways to catch Sportsnet live coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. Beautiful evening here in Toronto. CN Tower lit up. Boy, it's been nice all afternoon after the clouds cleared out. Temperature cooled down, and it's perfect right now for baseball. So Ronnie Paulino will bat with the bases loaded. Bruce Walton came out to give Jason Frazier a little bit of a breather. And last pitch was the 19th pitch of the inning. Darren Oliver is starting to loosen up down in the Blue Jays bullpen.
I think Paulino is set up for that slider away now. Left a couple of fastballs on the outside corner.
Bases loaded. Blue Jays have an 8-4 lead. Right to Kelly Johnson. He'll go to first, and the Orioles strand the bases loaded. Jason Frazier gets out of it. They maintain their 4-run lead. It's 8-4 Jays. A fan question of the game. Taylor Johnson asks, when the Blue Jays put the third baseman, Brett Lawrie, in right field and he records the out, how is it recorded in the scorebook?
Every defensive position has a number attached to it. The third baseman's number is 5. So wherever he plays on the field, if he makes an out, it's a 5 to the 3. So Brett Lawrie is 5, so it doesn't matter where he is playing on the field. If it's a ground ball to Brett Lawrie in short right field, it's a 5-3. And I'd like to make a note that there was a shift, and that's why he caught the ball on the right side of the infield.
I always make a note that there was a shift, because if you see a left-handed batter ground out 5-3, you assume that it's a dribbler over to third base. But in the case of the Blue Jays and many of those shifts, it's been rockets hit to right that Brett Lawrie throws from shallow right field.
I don't know how many times I've written that in my scorebook already this year, with plenty more to go.
5-3 with a star. J.P. Arancibia starts things off for the Blue Jays here in the 7th. Miguel Gonzalez came on with 1 out in the 5th. as Jake Arrieta lost in 4 1/3. So the Orioles have had 2 short starts here in the first 2 games of this series. Tommy Hunter went 3 + 2 batters last night, and Jake Arrieta didn't get out of the 5th. Popped up. Mark Reynolds in foul ground. The first baseman makes the catch. Now it's time for the Blue Jays farm report. Let's take a look down at Dunedin in the Florida State League and Vladimir Guerrero. All he's done in his first 2 games, 5 for 10. A couple of home runs and a 1.700 OPS. Tonight he went 3 for 5 with a double and a solo home run. And I like the fact, home runs are great, but when you start hitting doubles and home runs, that's a pretty good sign you're swinging the bat well.
And he'll probably stay there for a couple more days and then head off to higher levels of baseball. Blue Jays aren't real sure AA or AAA to finish off this week. Got a lot of people around town ask me about Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah.
When's he coming?
Well, he started his big league career with the Expos, and a lot of Canadian fans are keeping an eye on Vladdy. Brett Lawrie, 3 hits tonight. That's a career high. Ties his career high. He's done it 4 times. Most recently made 12th at Minnesota against the Twins. Pops this one up. Shallow center field. Laurie's retired for the first time tonight. We mentioned the bottom of the order. They've had some night. Lawrie was 3 for 3 before that at bat. David Cooper 2 for 3, and Rajai Davis is 3 for 3. 8 for 10 so far. That's getting some production from the bottom third of your order.
Lengthens it out. Lengthens out your lineup when you've got that type of production. And when you've got Rajai Davis hitting 9th and he's on base, you turn that lineup over and here come your best hitters with some speed on the bases.
Mike McCoy is on the bench next to Dwayne Murphy. McCoy has just rejoined the team. He's called up from AAA Las Vegas. Blue Jays have a couple of middle infielders a little dinged up right now. Yunel Escobar is dealing with a groin injury. Kelly Johnson has a hamstring problem, and Mike McCoy can play all the middle infield positions, play third base and the outfield. So he's a valuable guy to have here. Eric Thames has been sent back to AAA. Don Farrell was optimistic that Thames would get his swing back together and would return here with the Blue Jays in short order.
Blue Jays going with 3 full-time outfielders now. Mike McCoy can play some outfield, and Edwin Encarnacion has played some outfield. But right now they just have 3 full-time outfielders on their roster.
Probably a short-term situation. Gonzalez makes a good pitch on Cooper, and he has another strikeout. So we have played 7 complete here. The veteran Darren Oliver will make his way to the mound to start the top of the 8th. Day will take place on Tuesday, June 12th, when the Blue Jays welcome in the Washington Nationals. The game starts at 7:07 p.m. Great prizes to be won. First pitch, autographed merchandise, and T-shirts. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday, June 12th. The Washington Nationals are in town. Left-hander Darren Oliver will start the 8th inning. Oliver, making his 19th appearance, has pitched well.
Yeah, he certainly has. Worked 3 days ago in that marathon down in Texas. His longest outing of the season, 2 1/3 innings against the Rangers, and pitched great. Just gave up a couple of scratch hits, no runs, a walk, and a strikeout. John Farrell kept saying to him, "How do you feel?" He kept saying, "You're not taking me out of this ball game."
That's a great feeling for a manager. Oliver just did a great job. Just kept the game in check. He came in to the game with 2 outs in the 10th inning and struck out Mike Napoli, a pinch hitter, to end that threat. And then had 2 more very good innings. That was a real heartbreaker to lose that game. 13 innings against the Rangers, and the Rangers had leadoff batters on the last 5 innings of the game.
Right.
And the Blue Jays were able to extend the game into the 13th.
They got clobbered on Friday night, then they had to come back, and they had that game.
Mark Reynolds rips one into center field. And we're shading him up the middle, but it was hit hard right past Kelly Johnson.
Riddle's first hit of the night, had a couple of hits in last night's game, just off the disabled list.
Now there's a young fan that's hanging in there late into the night. 8-4 Blue Jays lead. Chris Davis homered his last time up. Opposite field 2-run home run. Gets jammed on this one, and it's over Escobar's head. Davis is strong, and he fought it off and flared it over the shortstop's glove into left. First 2 reach here in the 8th.
This team just doesn't go easily. The Baltimore Orioles, their ability to come back late, especially 8th and 9th inning, starting to get around the league. Davis just fights that one off and muscles it into left field.
Blue Jays have seen this team come back on them all season long. Left fielder Wilson Betemit has gone 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Upstairs with that fastball. Numbers against Darren Oliver: 2 for 6. Oliver would love to get a ground ball right here. There's a ground ball, and it's a foul ball as it hit the batter. Francisco Cordero loosening up for the Blue Jays. Cordero pitched in last night's game, was charged with 2 runs on 4 hits in just a third of an inning. John Farrell's going to go talk to Paul Nowert, the third base umpire, after he made the call. And Nowert called the ball hit Betemit while he was in the batter's box.
Well, let's see. Certainly doesn't look like it hit Betemit. I mean, he didn't react like it hit him. Ball like that goes all the way out to third base. Doesn't look like it ricochets off of anything, any part of his body.
And Nowert never hesitated, made the quick call, but Farrell was right, and now Betemit strikes out, so it's all academic. First out of the inning is a strikeout for Darren Oliver. And now John Farrell has made the call to the bullpen.
Backdoor breaking ball right on the outside part of the plate. As Betemit strikes out for the 3rd time.
So Oliver will turn the ball over with a couple of men on and 1 out. Francisco Cordero into the ball game. Right here on Sportsnet. Pacific and West, it'll be the Yankees and Angels. It all starts at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 7 p.m. Pacific Time. As Andy Pettit goes up against Dan Herron. And last night, quite a game as the Angels had a walk-off home run off the bat of Mark Trumbo to win it. To extend their win streak to 7 straight. Francisco Cordero makes his 22nd appearance of the season. Runners at first and second. Andy Chavez has come off the bench as a pinch hitter.
Baltimore Orioles saw Cordero in last night's game. They roughed him up just a third of an inning, 4 hits last night against Francisco. And that's something that the Orioles have done for the Blue Jays this year.
Orioles are 5-2 against the Blue Jays this season, and from the 8th inning on, they have scored 12 runs to the Blue Jays 1. They scored 2 runs in the 9th inning last night in that 6-2 loss, but they have that never give up attitude. Andy Chavez bounces it to second. Johnson goes to Escobar for the force out. That's the second out of the inning.
Chavez runs too well down the first base line. Ball wasn't hit that hard. So they get that middle runner.
So now runners at the corners with 2 outs. Back to the top of the order. Andino has gone 1 for 4 tonight. We mentioned those numbers from the 8th inning on for the Orioles. They've hit over 350 in the 8th and 9th inning against the Jays.
And coming into this series yesterday, the Blue Jays bullpen has pitched to a 7.7 ERA against Baltimore this year. They have had their way with Toronto relievers.
Andino's in a hole, 0-2.
This is where Andino has been sitting on breaking balls in the last couple of nights. They've crossed him up a couple of times by using the fastball. Drew Hutchison got him to end the 7th yesterday.
Chavez was on the move. He'll have to go back to first base. Andino fouled it off. It's an 0-2 pitch again for Cordero.
Ricky Romero got Andino in the 7th. Excuse me, Frazier got Andino in the 7th, looking on a fastball with 2 strikes.
Had to come inside, pushed him back off the plate. jammed him with that inside fastball. Cordero's the third Blue Jays reliever to work tonight. Jason Frazier worked the seventh. Aaron Oliver came in, gave up a couple of hits before striking out Wilson Bettamy. And then Cordero got the pinch hitter, Endy Chavez, to hit into the fielder's choice. And Dino stays alive.
Well, you see how he was covering that breaking ball with 2 strikes.
There goes Chavez, just off the inside corner. Chavez goes to second with the stolen base. Cordero reminding himself that now there's a runner at second. They use a sequence of signs. 2 outs. Little tapper out in front of home plate. And CB got on it quickly, but Doug Eddings ruled it foul. Aaron Sebia might have grabbed it behind the foul line, and Eddings got himself in a position. A couple of tough calls at home plate this inning.
He was on that so quick. It was JP Arancibia. He's got to be in the playing field to be able to make this play. You see him jump up to try and show that he was out there. It looked like he caught that while he was in foul territory.
There's a good breaking ball that ends the inning. Cordero comes in and gets 2 outs. We've played 8. Blue Jays have an 8-4 lead. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in Blackberry Broadcast Studio. $17,352 fans on hand. They're getting into the spirit of the event. Blue Jays trying to take the first 2 against Baltimore. Wilson Bettamy has taken over at third base, and Endy Chavez came on as a Rajay Davis has had a 3-hit night. Miguel Gonzalez has done a good job keeping the Blue Jays at bay.
A little rough his first inning that he came in. picking up Jake Arrieta. He gave up 3 hits. And a couple of runners that were on base when he came in scored. And he's only given up 1 hit since then.
Casey Jansen, Carlos Villanueva loosening up. Villanueva had a big outing down in Texas, just getting over the impact of that, threw over 60 pitches. Davis chops it foul. Rajai Davis, a season high 3 hits here tonight. You mentioned what a good job the bottom of the order has done here. Brett Laurie with 3 hits, David Cooper with a pair of hits, and Rajai Davis with 3.
Bunt hit when he was sacrificing, and then ripped the ball down into the corner and sent one back through the middle.
Ground ball to short. J.J. Hardy waits on it. And Davis is retired. That's the first out of the bottom of the 8th. Kelly Johnson had a big night last night. 3 hits, a couple of doubles, and a home run. Tonight it's a different story. Both teams with 10 hits.
That shot of 2 relievers warming up down in the bullpen for the Blue Jays, Villanueva and Jansen. I think Villanueva will be in this game if the Blue Jays score a run or 2, and then you can save Casey Jansen for tomorrow. If they don't score, then I think that's why they've got Jansen ready.
4-run lead is not a safe situation, but I think John Farrell just wants to make sure. Casey Jansen threw 4 pitches in last night's game. Just as soon not have to pitch him, and Kelly Johnson strikes out. His 4th strikeout of the night. And Buck Showalter going to make a pitching change here. Yunel Escobar is the batter. Luis Ayala will come on. Miguel Gonzalez held his own in his first big league game. On Rogers Sportsnet. It all begins tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Brandon Morrow will go to the mound with a 5-3 record. He'll be opposed by Jason Hamel. 6-1 with a very good ERA at 2.78. Jays will wrap this 3-game series up tomorrow night. Luis Ayala. First pitch strike to Yunel Escobar.
Ayala spent last season with the New York Yankees, had an ERA just over 2, and he's picking it back up now with the Baltimore Orioles. Now 21 games for Luis Ayala, veteran. He's been around. 185 earned run average. This Baltimore bullpen is very good. It's deep. They've got a lot of arms. They've got a lot of guys who can do different things. They are carrying 8 relievers right now, and their earned run average is second in the American League.
They're not going to stay up there in that position if their starters continue to have short outings. They'll run out of gas. But their starters had been good up until lately, and the bullpen has responded very well. Buck Showalter and his bench coach John Russell trying to figure out how to get things turned around. Coming in this game, they'd lost 4 of their last 6 ball games. They lost 2 out of 3 to Boston at home in Baltimore and 2 out of 3 to the Royals. They won 2 of 3 in Washington against the Nationals just before that 6-game homestand.
I was looking at some of the games that they have played, and they've had the problems that the Blue Jays have had when it comes to numbers in the bullpen. They have played 3 10-inning games, an 11-inning game, a 12-inning, a 13, a 15, and a 17-inning game already this season. And that can really make you run through a lot of pitching.
It'll just catch up to you after a while. Howard Andino makes a nice play, and that ends the inning. Takes a hit away from Yunel Escobar. Casey Jansen will come out to work tonight and try to close this thing out. Consecutive night. He came in to close it out in last night's game. Just used 4 pitches, so he's got plenty of bullets left tonight. His 19th game of the season.
What a job he has done since John Farrell has moved him into the closer spot. He'll cut his fastball. He's got good command on both sides of the plate. Matter's hitting righties 148, lefties 250 against Jansen, and that whip is excellent. That shows that he's got a lot of command, and he just doesn't give free passes.
Picked up his 4th save of the season in last night's game. At 2 outs on just 4 pitches. J.J. Hardy pops it in the air. Brett Glory down the third base line, and it's back out of play. It'll be Hardy, Markakis, and Jones. And the Orioles seem to get the middle of the order up late in the game, no matter what the situation is. Last night in the ninth inning, Jones, Wieters, and Bettamy had 3 consecutive hits to start the inning that led to that ninth inning rally. Good slow curveball in there for a strike. It's 0-2.
Casey has talked about that curveball, saying I've got to mix some of those in there so the hitters don't just sit on my fastball.
Jansen's become a very important part of this bullpen. Last year he had a very good year working in the 7th and 8th inning. This year started out as the 8th inning guy and moved into the closer's role. There's a single into left field. J.J. Hardy gets it going. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected, here's Brad Fay and Ken Reed. Now that doesn't sound like it would be anything too exciting. A media fight. Check it out on Connected right after the ball game. Nick Markakis with nobody out. Shows bunt, pulls the bat back. It's outside. Markakis had a ground rule double his last time up. Ball hit in the gap in right center, bounced out of the ballpark. It cost him an RBI. Steve Tollison had come all the way around to score, but when the ball was a ground rule double, he had to go back to third. He's had success against Casey Jansen. The Orioles know they need to get a couple more base runners on. They've hit 2 home runs tonight, and they've got some pop.
Yeah, they are just looking for base runners because the big home run hitters are right behind Markakis. So he's going to try and work Jansen.
Adam Jones has a home run tonight. He's also walked twice and singled.
Even with a fastball on. Nick Markakis, a career 300 hitter versus the Blue Jays. And you said it earlier, you play the teams 18 times a year. After a couple of years, you've got a lot of at-bats. 418 at-bats against the Blue Jays in his career coming into this game, and he's over 300. So he knows these pitchers. He knows them as well as anybody on this team.
111 games, and he's still feeling the impact of getting jammed on that last pitch.
Yeah, I think he might have hurt his wrist.
Full count, nobody out. J.J. Hardy at first. Markakis lines it toward right. Bautista's there. That's the first out of the inning. Take a look at the AL East standings. The Orioles 29-20. Tampa Bay has already lost to the White Sox. The Yankees will play later against the Angels. Look at the 5 teams all within 4.5 games.
Blue Jays win tonight. They hold on to win, and they beat 3 games out of first place. The Yankees are going to play later on tonight.
They're out in Anaheim to take on the Angels. You can see that a little later on Sportsnet West and Pacific. Adam Jones takes a strike. National League East is all jammed up as well. 5 teams within 4 games in first place, and everybody in the division at least 2 games over 500. The Braves and the Phillies are tied at 26 and 24 in last place.
I didn't see that coming in that division. I didn't think the Mets would be where they are. They're 5 games over 500, and certainly didn't think Washington would be 10 games over 500.
Gio Gonzalez and Edwin Jackson have made a difference in a healthy Steven Strasburg. And Bryce Harper's had a dramatic impact. Blue Jays will get a chance to see them when they come to Rogers Center second week of June. Adam Jones in a hole 0-2. Adam Jones with a pair of home runs against Casey Jansen. Out in front of that pitch and pulls it foul into the seats.
That slow curveball. Jansen's upset with himself. Left it over the middle of the plate. And I think he knows he got away with a mistake. He has tried that front door cutter a couple of times to right-handers since he has moved into that closer's role. Just trying to freeze that right-handed batter.
J.J. Hardy singled to left to start things off here in the ninth. Two balls, 2 strikes. High and deep to left field. Adam Jones has just hit his second home run of the night. A breaking ball that stayed right out over home plate. It's a 2-run game.
He wanted to bounce that one or get it down. And Adam Jones, he just missed a couple of pitches before pulling the ball down the left field line. This time he doesn't miss it at all.
2 home runs tonight. Jones now has 16.
You'll see the catcher, J. Pierre Enciva, he wanted Casey Jansen to bounce that one, holding his glove down in the dirt, but it hangs over the middle of the plate. It's the 5th 2-run home run that Adam Jones has hit this year. And the Orioles pull within 2.
The Orioles have now hit 75 home runs for the season. That ties them with the Yankees for the lead in the American League. Ronnie Paulino drives it high and deep down the right side. Bautista over near the wall. It's beyond his reach.
Just needed a few more feet. Bautista would have been able to come up with that one. Ball was twisting away from him and slicing. And if there was a little bit more room down there, he doesn't have to go to his slide like that. He could run right through to make the play.
Paulino came into the game in the 5th inning after Matt Wieters, the starting catcher, was thrown out, ejected by home plate umpire Doug Eddings. Hits this ball on the line. Rasmus has it go over his head. Paulino is headed for second. That line drive sailed on Rasmus, went right over his glove and banged up against the wall in center.
You don't know if it's going to take off on you or it's going to dive on you when that line drive is hit right at you. Rasmus comes in a little bit and then the ball takes off on him. Some backspin created by Paulino. And it's just off of his glove for an extra base hit.
They give Rasmus an error on that play. I don't agree with that. He came in, the ball took off, and he never put his glove on it. But Paulino ends up at second base. So it's an 8-6 game, and here's exactly what we had talked about. The Orioles have now scored 14 runs. in the 8th or 9th inning against the Blue Jays.
And have out-homered them just this season. They've hit 6 home runs in the 8th and 9th inning against the Blue Jays. And here's another home run hitter.
Mark Reynolds. Casey Jansen has given up 4 home runs this season, all 4 to the Orioles. Popped out of play, a ball on a strike. Eight, 6 Blue Jays. Mark Reynolds represents the tying run.
So the outfield has to play a little bit deeper now, nothing over your head. He doubled late in yesterday's game off the center field wall.
Two balls and a strike. Jansen came on to start the 9th inning, gave up a leadoff single to J.J. Harding. Nick Markakis lined out to right, and then Adam Jones hit a 2-run home run. Luis Perez starts to loosen up for the Blue Jays. The Orioles were down 8-1 after 5.
Home runs have brought him back. 2-run home run by Davis. He is sitting on deck. The 2-run home run by Adam Jones here in the 9th inning has brought him within 2.
Reynolds will take the walk. And here comes Chris Davis. John Farrell looking down to see the status of Luis Perez. He wants Aaron Seavey to go talk to Jansen. Buy Perez a little more time.
Yeah.
Back in the 6th inning, facing Ricky Romero. Davis goes after the first pitch and launches it over the Blue Jays bullpen. A 2-run home run, his 9th of the season.
He has just had good at-bats against the Blue Jays this year. He has used the whole field. That's the second time we have seen Davis go the opposite way for a home run. So some decisions now. A couple of innings ago, I don't think John Farrell was thinking about having to use 4 relievers to get through this, but that's where they sit right now.
Chris Davis takes the ball down and in. This is a different Oriole team. They were down 8-1. Blue Jays have owned them over the last several seasons. That's not the case this year. Popped up. Brett Laurie, a long run. Makes the catch. He gets there. He was way off the line and used his great speed, knowing the importance of every out.
I can't think of another third baseman in the American League who makes this play. Watch where Brett Laurie has to come from. He was playing him in that 5-6 hole in left at third base, and he's got to come a long way and just outruns that baseball. Who else makes that play in the American League?
Boy, that's a great play. And retires a dangerous hitter. He ran a long way, and you know that ball is bouncing on you when you're running that hard.
You got to keep your eye on it, and you just have to trust your teammates are going to tell you where that wall is.
2 outs, 2 on. Wilson Betterman. Bouncing ball near second. That'll do it. The Blue Jays win it. 8-6. Casey Jansen had the battle to close out the ninth. The Orioles scored a pair in the ninth to make it interesting. Brett Laurie, a terrific defensive play. The bottom of the order, 8 for 12 tonight, sparked the offense, and the bullpen held on.
And it was the defense, though, in the ninth inning that comes through with this one. Laurie's play sensational. And then Escobar gets that tapper and gets the out at the base. Blue Jays have a chance to sweep the Orioles and repay them for the sweep they got down in Baltimore.
Brandon Moyle will go to the mound to be opposed by Jason Hamill in the series finale. Stay tuned for Connected. Brad Fay, Ken Reed coming right up.